Every L is a lesson. So when I run into rejection, I know it's only redirection. I see the blessings right beside me. The chances are quite unlikely. I do it like I'm in my Nikes. Don't make excuses, they never excite me. Boxes, boxes. I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, stop it. Quitting was never an option. Exhausted, exhausted. This passion is never exhausted. And you cannot stop it. Nah, you cannot stop it.
Good morning, Knicks universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Knicks Morning Brew on this Friday, February 9th. Like always, I am your guy Hector, joined by my compañeros. I got my guy Jiggaman Porto, and I got my guy Phil the Prophet, aka I always forget to unmute my microphone. All you Knicks fans out there, wake up and get your coffee.
That was good. I like what you did there. That was good. The warning intro. Yeah,
that seriously helped me. I seriously had my mic on mute, and I looked down, and I was like, "Yo, that was the alley-oop right there." Appreciate you.
So funny.
Of course, that's what we do to you for each other. Folks in the building, how are you doing? So, Philip, how are you doing?
Good, man. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we'll recap the game. You know, it's not like we were live for 10 hours yesterday.
No,
full
10 hours
straight this morning. Let's go. No. But, guys, let's not waste time because it's the day after the trade deadline. We had a game last night, and we've got the great Bill Pino is in the building.
Good morning, Bill. How you feeling?
How we doing? How we feeling?
Good. I mean, Bill, you've got to be exhausted. Like, I know yesterday had to be super busy for you.
Well, we actually, to be honest, we didn't. The game was on TNT, so we were actually off.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But
so you guys didn't have much.
It's not a bad thing to be off when they're I'll never forget, we were on the air the year that they traded JR and Shump to Cleveland.
Oh.
The trade deadline, I think, used to be like later than 3 p.m. And we were on the air when that broke one night. I'll never forget it. And for us, that's just, I mean, it's chaotic. So not a bad thing to be off yesterday and kind of absorb it, take it in as it's going. What a great move. I think we're all real excited about the potential going forward here. I'll be real curious to see how the depth works in terms of the because we know Coach Thibodeau doesn't always like to play 10 guys, but now assuming Mitch comes back and everybody gets healthy, you got 10 guys. Now,
solid.
I'm not even counting Deuce.
Yeah. And that's the one thing. The move yesterday, Bill, and I'll make this real quick and I'll throw it over to the other fellas. To me, that signaled to me that both the front office and Tom Thibodeau, one, they're on the same wavelength, but they brought into and they have faith in Deuce McBride because you didn't go out there and get like your prototypical backup point guard. You went out there and you got Alec Burke, who at times when he was with the Knicks played a point guard position to start the year. Yeah. But when it comes to Deuce McBride, I feel the front office, they saw what you could get out of Deuce McBride. It's not a small sample size. It was about a month, and he has been solid as a backup point guard after the OG trade.
So you guys, my thought is that Deuce McBride may lose minutes. You guys think Deuce McBride's still going to back up Brunson? My thought was because we saw so a couple of years ago play point. I thought that off the bench it might be Burks running the show, but maybe I'm wrong. We
won't see Brunson and I mean we won't see McBride probably in the same capacity with the same minutes. Burks may eat into that. If Deuce McBride misses a couple of shots, you may see Burks more than you see Deuce McBride. But it all comes down to Tom Thibodeau. Like you said, it's a veteran that Tom Thibodeau is familiar with. He knows Alec Burks knows the system, so it should be an easy fit coming over from Detroit.
Yeah. And my thought on the point guard off the bench is, you know, one thing that the fan base had an issue with and felt frustrated with Tibbs back in the day was that it seemed like guys like IQ that could have developed a little quicker played behind guys like Burks that weren't really actual true point guards. And so I'm hoping that that's not the case because we're starting to see McBride come into himself. And I would like to see that continue to develop. That gives us another shooter off the bench because he's been hitting like his threes nonstop these last few games. And when I look at how Tibbs has coached, I feel like he's coached differently than he's had in the past. Like, I feel like he's made a lot more adjustments, has opened up his, willingness to do things a lot more. If you look at the fact that Taj Gibson was here, but Taj wasn't playing a ton of minutes until it was a necessity for him to play a ton of minutes. So I'm hoping that he actually does brought in, the amount of players that he actually plays. and allows these guys to cook, because I think that Burks is playing well where he's at. And I think if he brings that same kind of presence off the bench for us, he would be great. But I think him and McBride should still be able to play. That's my personal opinion.
Well, then the math is going to be interesting, because now if you have McBride in there, you got 11 guys.
Yeah.
Just think about this. Let's just say it starts. You're gonna the second five would be Hartenstein, Achua, Hart, Burks, and Bogdanovich, and I'm not even counting McBride as the 11th.
Yeah.
So,
Bill, do you think that when Mitch comes back, they'll automatically just put him in the starting unit or have him come off the bench? Because I think, just to be cautious, having him come off the bench at the beginning, at least, maybe not in the postseason, but at the beginning, it would be smart just to ease him back into it instead of just throwing him into the fire. What's your thoughts on that, Bill?
Very interesting. I mean, you can make the case that first unit, when healthy, works better with Hartenstein in there in terms of pass the ball, space the floor a little bit, more of an offensive weapon in terms of scoring, both, but obviously on the boards. I think one of the things that really hasn't gotten enough attention, we've all talked, and rightfully so, about Anunoby and the perfect fit. But think about this. The Knicks lost their starting center. Jay Hartenstein, untested as a starter, and none of us knew that he would be this good, because he really had a chance. They're 21-10 without their starting center. With Hartenstein in there and no Mitch, they're 21-10. I don't think any of us saw this coming. Yes, a great ad, but listen, if Hartenstein isn't doing what he's been doing, you don't have this run of success.
Yeah.
Oh, facts, Bill. Go ahead, Sels.
I love that we started off this season with you, Bill. The hype before the season started, and now you're here. I want to talk about Dante DiVincenzo, because the Cenzo gang and fan base is growing huge. What are your thoughts on Dante? And I guess my question too on that, Bill, is, do you keep Dante in the starting unit? Because you're seeing a lot of stuff out there. People are saying, oh, maybe he should go to the bench and this and that. I would love to hear your thoughts on Dante, Bill.
I don't think you can take him out of the starting five. Now, when they have been shorthanded here, he's like shooting 25 shots a game.
Yeah.
I'm sure Dante's not happy his teammates are out, but you got to be about the fact that he can do whatever he wants on offense right now. He's been phenomenal. And let's give a shout out and props to the front office. They got DiVincenzo, $12 million a year, $10 million, whatever it may be. They got Hartenstein, OG, the trades yesterday. All the first round picks are still in the cupboard.
Yep.
Grimes, you move him. He seemed to have regressed. I just think they've done a phenomenal job. And Cenzo has been better than advertised in terms of his ability to shoot the ball. He has been absolutely. Now, granted, he's getting more shots because guys are out.
Right.
You're listening. He can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
And when you bring up the point about DiVincenzo real quick, yes, he's getting all those extra shots, but he's knocking it down. He scored 30 points last night. I get it. It was in a loss, but he's been, how many 30-point games have we seen from Dante DiVincenzo over the past month, especially since the start of January? When you look at his numbers, he's shooting over 40% from the 3-point line. On catch and shoot 3-pointers, I think it's close to like 46%, if I'm not mistaken. When you look at this roster at the beginning of the season, Bill, if you would have told me we were going to trade, not the beginning of the season, but in the off season, we was going to trade Obi, RJ, IQ, and Quentin Grimes to get where we are at right now, February 9th, I would have never believed you. But like you said, kudos and shout out to the front office, because the moves they made are for the immediate when it comes to Bojan and Alec Burks, but at the same time, they didn't get rid of any of those first round draft picks. And when you look at Bojan's contract, he has $19 million next season. So if they want to try to swing for the stars this offseason, you could use Bojan and his salary to get that player that you want to get here to the Garden.
Or maybe you keep him.
Yeah.
Or maybe you keep him.
Let me ask you guys, as this group is presently constructed, when all healthy, what's wrong with this group? Why is there this thought that they got to do something else? Now, obviously, what happens in the playoffs, but
yeah. And for me, I said it.
What do you guys want now? I mean, Brunson is level. Randle's playing the best ball of his career. Anunoby's a perfect fit. The centers are playing great ball. DiVincenzo shoot. I mean, what do you want?
And you hear it, people. Bill is jumping out the window with me. Bill, I've been saying it. Are you not entertained? Stop with the we need to go get more. We got the little pieces we needed.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I said it even when we started this reconstruction. I said that the NBA
about that, guys. You got 2 all-stars.
We developed
one
stars.
top 15, one top 30 in Randle.
Yeah, and I said it earlier. I said the hunting for stars thing needs to die. Like, we didn't know that Jalen Brunson was going to become the star that he's become, but the hunting for stars and just building a team around a big name wasn't what the Knicks wanted to do. And we've seen that it's actually worked out. Like, we have a star now in Brunson, a star in Randle, but we are like a elite team from the first guy to the last guy that takes the floor. Like, we are built solid.
I apologize. Is that coming across on the mic?
Nope.
Oh, no, I didn't hear nothing. You good?
No.
Plumber here, so I apologize.
Nah, you all good, Bill. Go ahead, Phil.
So Bill, we're talking about this roster and how it is constructed so well now from our first guy to our last guy that we don't even know if we have enough roster spots to play those who have been playing well. We know that regardless of whether they'll play or not, now we have an extra roster spot. What do you personally think we will do with that roster spot? Do you think that we'll find someone in the buyout market? Do we have, if he gets bought out, the return of our fun-loving Ryan Arcidiacono? Like, what do you think we actually do with that final spot? I want Archie back.
Archie's a fit behind the scenes. I would
Love Archie.
vote for a Kyle Lowry or someone like that, because I don't think you need to add anybody in here that's going to, Kyle Lowry comes here. If he doesn't play, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
And you bring him in, where's he going to play? So I would vote for maybe a behind the scenes type of support player. Like, if Archie gets bought out or whatever, why not bring him back? He's a perfect fit. We all know how he is on the bench, calling out whatever he calls out, challenges or whatever the case may be, or, helping the refs make their calls. And of course, he's really close personally with Brunson and Hart and DiVincenzo. So I would vote for a support guy as opposed to someone else that may expect playing time.
No, and that's a great point, Bill. And when you look at the other teams that are contending right now, when you look at Phoenix, they had to give up so much to get to where they're at right now. They hamstrung. They can't upgrade the team without losing a big part of it. And I think when you look at our front office, we were able to get here without fully mortgaging our future when it comes to our first round draft picks. So to your question, who do we want to get? As of right now, I'm good. I said it yesterday on our show when we was live for 10 hours straight. If this is the roster that we are going to go to war with in the postseason, when we're healthy, I'm solid. And try to find the silver lining. Yes, Julius Randle is injured. Yes, Mitchell Robinson is injured, but an OG as well. But when they come back at the beginning of March or in the middle of March, that's like making an in-season trade right there to get you 3 guys that you're going to insert into your starting unit with the players that we're talking about. So having a well-rested Julius Randle going into the postseason, that's something we haven't seen from Julius Randle, because first year with Tom Thibodeau, he was leading the league in minutes. So now you're going to be able to get a rested Julius Randle coming back, a rested Mitchell Robinson coming back. So these should be good pieces going into the postseason.
One thing I don't know how it is with you guys and the minute stuff. Tibbs is not playing these guys more than other starters are playing. Where that narrative may have been present a year or two ago, it's not.
Not this year.
Randle, Brunson, etc., not playing more than other frontline players. They're playing mid-30s or whatever the case may be. So that's a narrative that I hope expect to stop, because it's just not a valid discussion anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw the Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart podcast. It was a great watch. But Josh Hart brought it up. He's like, listen, if Tibbs plays me 40 more minutes, I'm gonna fight him.
Well, now it's different because they got nobody.
No, yeah.
Got Jacob Toppin and Brown playing last night. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Celso, you muted.
Sorry, I was about to say, before we let you go real quick, Bill, I want to ask you off topic a little bit, but yesterday we had Sky Zoo came on, we had Jay Boogie showed up, and the question I had for you was, do you realize how big you are when it comes to the Knicks fandom? Like Jay Boogie, right? Breaking news, shouting out Bill Pino. Sky Zoo, like from hip-hop artists to actual cartoon artists. Like, Bill, does that ever, like, do you ever sit there and you're like, man, I really am a big part of this Knicks fandom?
I pay for the fandom, you know that. I'm Venmoing all these guys. Hey, I'm glad you guys like what we do. We have an incredible team. I mean, Wally and Alan and Monica is so much fun. And how about Clyde? Remember, Mike and Clyde are in the Hall of Fame. Clyde's in there as a player and a broadcaster. Mike Breen is a top broadcaster in the country, and there are guys. And I'm sure you guys saw us the other night celebrate Mike and Clyde's 25 years.
It was great.
Amazing.
The thing I want to stress to everybody is that they're Hall of Fame people. Make them even more impressive. They are approachable. There's no ego. They're so like normal guys. And, you might think otherwise, given their stature and what they have accomplished, but that's just not the case. I feel very lucky to have had this opportunity, to continue to have this opportunity, and fingers crossed that this is going to be the beginning of a real special spring here coming up.
Oh yeah.
And let them know, Bill, that when they're ready to launch a morning show on MSG Network, I've got the perfect show for them. I mean, I'm just saying, Bill.
Hey, you guys are ready, man. Just be available. That's all right.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill, thank you for hanging out with us
appreciate
this
you.
morning, man. We love you so much.
Let's
Appreciate you,
for the
Bill.
playoffs. All right, guys.
Sounds
Definitely.
good. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
Bill.
Definitely, Bill.
Appreciate
My
that.
pleasure, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Later, bye.
Appreciate you, my guy. That was
Always
our
great.
friend of the show, friend of the channel, our guy, Mr. Bill Pito. All you Knicks fans that's in the chat, smack the like button. We got over 100 people in the building. So if you guys can, smack that like button, hit the subscribe button. We are sitting at 3,446 subscribers.
Oh, we said
on our way to
3,500 before Saturday.
3,500.
Come on,
If you guys
smack
can
it.
help us out, smack the subscribe button. Let's do a roll call real
Yes,
quick.
I was about to
continue. Is
say,
that cool?
we jumped right into it with Bill. We didn't get to roll call yet. Hold on, let me warm
Let's
up.
do a little bit. Let's do a little bit of go. My guy JJ is in the building. JJ, how you doing? We got the Badmus is in the building. Lorraine Badmus. Salute to you, Lorraine. Danny Landis is in the building. Our family, Ron and John from Still Knicks fans. What's good, Knicks family? Salute to the chat. Salute to Jerry, Phil, Hector, and Jigga. It's always great to see the one and only Bill Pito in the building. Ron, appreciate you. VR Diesel, aka El Hidalgo, is in the building. JJ is in the building. My guy Double A is in the building. Prez NYC.
What did he say? Tim's still a
that.
minutes maniac.
Yeah, Tim's still a maniac. David Rios is in the building. Our
what
guy
up,
CT Pittman is in the building. Like I said, we got over 100 people in the building. If you guys can, smack that like button for you guys. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Also, guys, we're still raising money. So short plug, if you can, it's pinned to the chat. Anybody that wants to donate, we're going to do a little stream this weekend. We'll let everybody know what time, but we're going to do a full giveaway stream. So anybody that either goes and donates $10 on Buy My Coffee or a $10 super chat, we'll enter you into tomorrow's giveaways. But we are literally thinking of what, an hour or so, a full duck race.
An hour or two.
Yeah,
an hour or two.
Depends, once we turn the camera on, we don't know what we do.
Yeah, the Knicks play at what, 7:00 tomorrow, 7:30 tomorrow. So we'll start it probably 2 hours before the Knicks game starts. So
and
we
we'll
don't
do
overlap.
some just nonstop duck races and stuff like that. What up? I'm a Lakers fan here, but here to support. Oh my gosh,
CT Pittman, bro.
CT, my God.
Appreciate you, my guy.
He's literally
CT
making
Pittman.
sure we get out there.
Yeah, for real. CT Pittman, like I said, email us, MediaTeam at Morning Brew Sports. He did cool, so we could send you some stuff.
And CT, I messaged the J Boogie too. We try to get you that chain, bro. All right.
Oh, we're gonna get you that chain. That chain.
We'll find one no matter what.
Appreciate the content this week.
He's in Charlotte, right?
Yes,
he's
I'm going to hang out with him.
All right. So when I'm there in March, I'm taking you out for a drink. Like,
let's go.
Drink cigars. If you do cigars, we're gonna link up. There's a few people out there that I love, like my guy Apollo from Guard Up Knicks. Get a dinner with the people that we love out there. So if you are down to link when I'm in Charlotte in March, I would love that, man. And
let's leave this comment here.
Yeah, to anyone that's in New York, we're still figuring things out for the end of February, but we're for sure part of the watch along party with our guy Tony, which is going to be at Blarney's before, during, and after that Celtics game. If you're in the city and you're down to come to that, please do me a favor. Just say yes, and if you want, message me your email address. We're going to get an email that we send out to all the people that are going to be there so that we can make sure we keep you guys informed. We're going to have some giveaways and stuff that night as well.
Just email us, MediaTeam@Morning Brew Sports, and put in the subject of the message Knicks versus Celtics. Like I said, email us, MediaTeam@Morning Brew Sports, and the subject put Knicks versus Celtics so we can have a count of how many people is one of.
And I will also say, for those of you out in the city, just possibly, we'll know more for sure tomorrow, and we'll know based on the fundraising, but set aside some time for Monday night's game against the Pistons. I'm just going to say
that's
that.
all we're
working on it.
We're working
in the city, you plan on going to a game, want to hang out, just give us till tomorrow, Sunday the latest. We'll have all the details.
All right, commercials out the way.
Such a good one. But I will start off with,
go ahead.
How about this right here? Scott Perry, ECF contenders. Former Knicks GM Scott Perry, I love the position New York's in. Did what they had to do. Burks is trusted, brings that scoring when they lost IQ. Bogdanovich can average 20 points per game. What they have now is definitely good enough to get to the ECF. Give Celtics a run for their money. Talk that shit, Perry.
Talk that shit, Scott Perry. Say it again for the people that are in the back. This is the year. This is the year the Knicks are going to be all in. When it comes to the trade deadline, we talked about it yesterday. We talked about it this morning with Bill Pito. But I'm happy with what our team did. Folks in the chat, this is the first time the New York Knicks, we have 5 contributing players on the roster that are all shooting over 40% from the three-point line. We were already top 5 in the league or top 10 in the league when it comes to three-pointers made. Now you add 2 guys who can shoot over 40% from the three-point line. Granted, it has to work out, right? Because they could come over here and just wet the bed. You saw what happened with Terry Rozier when he was having a phenomenal year in Charlotte. He went to Miami. He hasn't been able to really rev things up over there in Miami. So let's see what happens. Hopefully the change of scenery is not that much of a shock to both Bojan and Alex Burks. I have faith in Alex Burks because he's been here. He's done it. But like I said, I like where we are at. We are literally a game out of second place, even losing last night. We're a game out of second place.
Even in that loss last night, man, our team does have fight. I mean, look how depleted we are, rolling what we had, and they still fought the entire time. You know, they weren't happy that they had to keep their starters in there. They weren't happy that in the fourth they're still there. They should have dog walked the little squad that we had yesterday. But our team showed that even without all of our pieces, we can still contend. I wasn't mad last night. I wasn't lying. Heck, when we talked about it on the stream yesterday before we ended, I was gonna pour a drink. I was gonna sit back. I was gonna relax, win or lose. I was happy during yesterday's game.
Yeah, listen, it was solid because one, look what Dante DiVincenzo did. Another game, knocking down 3-point shots, scoring over 30 plus a game. Look at what DiVincenzo did. Look what Deuce McBride did. Look at what the bench unit is doing and what this does. Yes, I know we lost the game, but it gives Deuce McBride minutes so he could build his confidence. It gives Precious Achiuwa minutes so he could build his confidence. Our squad is just building confidence right now until our healthy pieces come back.
Yeah.
So this is one reason.
Salute, guys. We got a squad. We just need health.
Yeah.
Right? On paper right now, every move has been done right, Phil. It's just the health is concerned.
It is. And here's one reason a game like last night shows to me why Tibbs needs to consider like lengthening the amount of players he plays. If you look last night, he did not have much bench help at all. If you look at McBride was playing with Charlie Brown, Taj Gibson, and Jacob Toppin on the bench. 2 guys that have really only seen like 11 minutes the whole season combined, if that. And they played more minutes yesterday than they did the whole season. And Miles McBride was able to put up 20 plus points. And that's without any other threats offensively for the defense to have to guard. Now you put a Burks next to him, a Bojan next to him, and people have to guard those guys too, which means even more opportunities for McBride to score. So for me, I think you got to think about that. Think about the fact that this kid is continuing game after game after game to develop more and more and show more and more promise. And like we said when Bill was here, look at Dante DiVincenzo. You can't just call him a role player. I think that's such a disrespectful name for Dante DiVincenzo. When people are like, oh, we paid this much for a role player. A role player does not continue to give you 30 and 30 plus point nights when your main guys are out, and he's taking that burden on his own shoulder. Dante DiVincenzo is not a role player. Put some freaking respect on that dude's name. That kid is a baller, and I love the fact we got him.
I love that. I love that segue because
go ahead.
Alex, our boy, said Dante went to Golden State for one season, took all of Clay's powers. Okay,
hey,
when he said that shit last night, I was dying.
That's crazy.
Listen, when you look at the numbers, he's shooting, you know, almost 16. He was almost averaging 16 points in that starting lineup, over 40% from the 3-point line. Dante DiVincenzo, like you said, Phil, he ain't a role player anymore. He is a constant contributor in the starting lineup, and that's what people should recognize him as, a constant contributor in the starting lineup, and he's a constant piece in our squad. Shout out to Dante because he has stepped it up tremendously. And like Bill pointed out, we got this man for the next 4 years at $12 million a season. That's a steal. That is a bargain.
Say it. I love Dante. The Chenzo gang is strong. He said Dante is our new J.R. Smith.
Guys, look, look who I forgot his name. Who's the guy that we brought? Brock Aldwell. How do you pronounce his name? Brock
Bogdanovich.
No. Brock, the guy that works in the front office that was brought in for the Brock, whatever his name is. He was brought in from Cleveland, right? That was the capologist that they brought in for Cleveland to help us with our cap. Look at the moves that we have done with our cap. Even when you look at what Brock Aller, thank you so much, Building Block. When you look at Jalen Brunson and what he's doing, he is a top 15 player, not even making more than $30 million a season. Julius Randle, top 30, not making more than $30 million a season. We are set. The Knicks are literally $5 million under the salary cap, and I'm not sure if you guys pay attention to the new CBA. The new CBA is going to make it harder for teams that are over the luxury tax threshold to improve their team. The Lakers, perfect example. D'Angelo Russell most likely is going to pick up his player option in the offseason. When he picks that up, the Lakers won't be able to. If you're going to try to match salaries, you have to match salaries player for player. There's no more adding 3 players in a trade to equal the salary you're trying to trade for. If you're over the luxury tax, like the teams like Boston, like LA, like Philadelphia, like Milwaukee, those teams is going to be harder to improve what they have. But when you look at the Knicks being under the salary on the luxury tax threshold, having all of our first round picks, even with all of our first round picks, like Bill said, what do we need to add? We are still in a great position right now.
Facts. Double A with the $1.99 super chat helping fund the trip says, okay, but let's stop losing already. Double A says, I don't care if everybody wasn't healthy last night. I don't care that we didn't have our trade pieces. Damn it, give me a win. Guys, we've got 120 people in the building. Appreciate everybody rocking with us nice and early. Go ahead and smash that like, hit the subscribe for us. Trying to hit that 3,500, raise some money. But Phil, we got 120 in the building, and I think it's time. Maybe you kind of explain what we're about to share with everybody because I'm excited to share it, bro.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, back in the day before life got crazy with some medical stuff that I dealt with some brain tumors and whatnot, I used to do music a lot. Used to actually do music full time for a long time. And so I actually have been just picking up the pen and trying to have some fun. And when I was in North Carolina, I linked with my guy Apollo from Guard Up Knicks, who's also an MC. And we were just talking about, like, you know what? Even if we're not going to pursue this full time, even if we're not going to like put in all that money like a full-time artist would, it's foolish for us to like have a passion and a love and not do anything with it. So we challenged each other to just start putting stuff out. And so I wrote a big old long verse based off of the players that are now on the roster, including the guys that we just picked up yesterday. So part of me not being completely on the episode yesterday was me in Logic, recording, editing as quick as I could, in Final Cut Pro, editing a video, creating the captions so that you guys could follow along. So this is a video that I created for that verse, showing who we are now as the Knicks roster and comparing my style of hip hop with what we do on the court. So this is what that is.
Let's play it. Check it out.
Let's go play some Ice Spice.
What do we call it, Phil?
It's called Mecca.
Mecca.
Let's play some.
Check 1 2. New York over everything. Let's go Knicks. Check it. There's a stark difference. See, I come from these streets when it's checkout time. I'm bagging anyone who wants beef. Raps and richer stories, so I have to take advantage. Hold it down for those around me. Like 23, I'm a savage. You average, I ravage. And if my team is trailing, you can call me Mr. Clutch. My rhyme skills resemble Jalen. Small bully ball, my execution is timely. Like Burks, I move on and leave a losing team behind me. Now my style's a lot more polished, and I strive not to be reckless. Rings always on my mind, I fight for it. My precious battle tested like Bogdanovich. My skill set's a conglomerate. A legacy of grit, the opposition has to honor it. The heart in number 3, here's a L, you can wear it. You hate when I speak facts, some couldn't bear it. Start slow to speed it up, attack from every angle. Beats don't know the strangle, count me out, I'll buzz like Randle. Rough around the edges, yeah, I'm far from perfection. Put me to the test, I guarantee you'll face rejection. I heart, I soul, I am not one to downplay. I can do it all, the versatility of Dante. So doubt me all you want, that's fine, it's how you feel. But don't be surprised when you make my highlight real. I'm real stubborn in my views of hip-hop. I'm like Tibbs, cause old school beats and rhymes is where I'll always live. Place my bets on my vets, security in an OG. The only ones who test me are the ones who do not know me. So homie, try to hold me and get outlined in chalk. Like McBride, you are not built for these miles that I've walked. Keep the talk on lock so that I don't have to check ya. And if you need to find me, you can find me at the Mecca. You can find me at the Mecca. Yeah, blue and orange everything.
Okay. All right, Phil. I see you. So you're muted, just to let you know. Shout out to Jay Boogie with the $5 super chat. Shout out to the chat. Blessings, health, happiness. That move even allow OG to go get the surgery. That's Dr. Leon straight examining the squad. Appreciate you, Jay Boogie. And shout out to the chat. And Phil, that was type hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You got them bars.
Phil, I'm glad. We just so the
you know,
chat knows, we just got to see it too. So
yeah, we just saw it for the first time. But he may have those bars, but he always forgets to unmute his mic. That is the one thing that Phil always forgets to do.
Dang it.
Bro, great job. That came out so good. Yeah, I was gonna say in the chat, I don't want to pull up while the video was playing. Man, JJ, that's hard. Everybody VR with the fire. Phil got bars. That was fire. Yeah, Phil, it was dope. And I like the whole hat. I look, you my little brother, and I love you. I still get so jealous. And that video just made it even worse. Just seeing every single hat change. I'm like, I've got one, or actually 2, and Hector won't even let me take the stickers off of it. I mean, wants me to take the stickers off it. Screw you guys. Screw you.
Knicks 100 in the chat says, so no one is concerned with Pacers smacking us around for 7 full quarters but me. No, Nick, I'm with you, bro. I am concerned. I know we won that last meetup against the Pacers, and I know for a fact if Halliburton didn't have those minute restrictions, we'd have most likely lost that game. But no, Knicks 100, I'm 100% with you. And I think the front office fortifying that bench unit, adding Burks and adding Bogdanovic helps when we face against the Pacers, who have a lot of offense. And CT Pittman, my guy.
My God.
Jesus Christ.
My God. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be going to New York. Thank you to CT Pittman.
This is Morning Brew Sports brought to you by CT Pittman. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for holding us down over the past couple of days. Definitely going to let that one rock right there.
I like Brian said the notorious PHIL.
That's hilarious. We didn't have our roster that game. Facts. We were missing Julius. We were missing OG as well. So the same excuse that they have when it comes to Halliburton and his minutes restrictions, what would that game have been if we would have had Julius and OG in that lineup? Just saying. And then now you look at the additions to it. When you talk about Alec Burks, and when you talk about Bogdanovic, we got a squad right now, guys. We know defense is the number one thing that moves our squad, but being able to knock down our 3-point shots, being able to move that offense, bro.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I think, Knicks 100, I appreciate you.
We all have those concerns, right, Phil? Because we've talked about it. Like when it comes to the Pacers, how good the Pacers are. We need to upgrade our bench, and we have.
Yeah, and when you look at it, like, I don't think that we can say that the Pacers slapped around our team, because our team hasn't been fully healthy when we've played these guys. And I'm not using that as an excuse, because last night you saw, like, our guys have to have that fight, and they had it last night. But we lost to a team led by someone who is considered top 5 players in the NBA right now, like in Luka Doncic, so I understand. But at the end of the day, if other teams can look and say, hey, we were missing 3 guys, we have to consider that. Okay, we beat them, and we say it all the time. Yes, we beat them, but they were missing 3 guys. We can also say that about ourselves. Like, they've beaten us, but we've been missing some guys. So this friggin' trade that we made, the reason I like it so much is it covers us when we have those injuries roll up. Like, now you have guys like Bojan who can start on most NBA teams, who, when these guys come back healthy, will most likely be on our bench. But for right now, as they're injured, can start and fill in that gap. So I understand not wanting to lose, not wanting to whatever, but Hector said it. Even with the loss last night, we're only 2 games behind second place in the Eastern Conference. Like, what more do you want? Like, what more do you want that with our second best player who has been injured for only God knows how long, our starting center went down and has been gone for a very long time, and now the guy that we traded for who helped us on this win streak is also injured, and we're still only 2 games out of second place. And I don't know how we can really.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was mad.
We have breathing room with the teams that are behind us. There's a couple of games when it comes to breathing room. I thought so. So go ahead, bro.
Good. I was going to say, I mean, there was times I was a little upset because, let's be real, Mavs were on the sideline. Like, they were celebrating like they were beating some like big top tier team. It was like, hold on a second.
What?
You know, you're looking at our record and our number, but you know you're not playing our squad, right? Like, not our actual squad. And they were acting like they were doing something. It bothered me a little bit.
We're actually tied for 3rd place right now, right? I know, when it comes to the tiebreaker, Milwaukee has it because when it comes to the end season series, they're ahead of us. They beat us more than we beat them. But we are literally tied for 3rd place with Milwaukee right now, like Phil just pointed out.
E says, I think Bojan might be a bigger addition than we think. He can still fill up the bucket. E, we were saying it yesterday, right? If anybody's expecting big defense from the guy, then you're delusional, right? But it's not horrible, but it's not going to be the defense that we expect. But we said we needed points. He's going to give us those points.
But even with his holes on defense, even with his questions on defense when it comes to Bogdanovic, right? He is still a better defender than Fournier was. So you can have him out there and not worry about the defense that much when you surround him with defense. Boji is Novak on steroids for 10 times a game. Absolutely.
I had to pull it up.
I just want to let you know, I just threw a few more mods out there. I got my guy CT Pittman, made him a mod. I got my guy Corey Lee out there. I made Corey Lee a mod as well. There was a couple of more people I made mods, but be on the lookout. We appreciate all of you guys. Honestly, when it comes to making you guys moderators, it's just we like all of you guys. So if we have to have our whole chat filled with moderators because we just love our entire community, we'll make everybody a moderator if we have to.
Rebuild NYK.
Just don't delete people.
I'm right there with you, bro. I mean, we all know it. They go to the Garden, they want to show out. And that's why I said a little upset, just because you're hyping it all up like you're doing something, but you're having a hard time. You're having to compete against, our bench against bench.
Fellas, to answer what Phil just said, what else do they want? Before we made the OG trade, the day we made the OG trade, the New York Knicks, we were the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. We were 17 and 15. Right now, like I said, we are literally tied for 3rd place with Milwaukee. We're in 4th place because of the tiebreaker, but we are 33 and 19 right now. When we made that trade, we had 15 losses. After that trade, we have 19 losses. We've only lost 4 games since that trade.
Yeah.
And that's
and with a couple of those games should have went in our way if the referee would have blown the whistle in our favor.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you have to look. We have been one of the best teams in 2014. Like, I understand if you're still, chilling in 2013, being frustrated with some of the things we've seen, but we're not seeing guys, as much as I liked RJ, we're not seeing RJ get stuffed at the rim time and time again. We're not seeing like a lineup that is completely confused on how to work together. Like, we are looking at a team where our role players are putting up 36 freaking points in a game. Like, That's insane to me. Like for a fan base to be upset when you see role players putting up 36 points when you don't even have like some teams that have their number twos that can't put up 36 points. I think we're okay. Like, we have done a great job. Yes, we've lost a few games, but the same way we say, don't jump out of the window and be like, oh, we're going to, be championship contenders before we even made trades. I say the same thing now. Look at what's going on and don't jump completely onto the subway tracks and lose your mind that we're not good, because we are. You have guys all over the league that are some of the best that talk about how we are a hard team to play. Like, that's a good thing. This hasn't happened in years. Let's be content. Let's still want to see more, but I think we're good.
David Rios added to the pot to get us out to NYC. Says this team is ready for war. 100.
Oh, Knicks 100 in the chat. Hold on, because this was funny. It was mad funny when they showed that bench and it was literally just two players.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
it literally was. It was literally just two players, and both of them were just like trying to stay hydrated in case they got to go back in the game.
Yeah, and I know there was one time too. I agree, but and I know you guys were watching the game last night, but they were going down like that in the camera, and they got to our bench, and I saw the camera guy go like that, and then came back this way. Like, wait, there's nobody else down there. Let's just go back this way. There was nobody. But you know what? Let me switch up the topic real quick because I had to play this. Because this freaking guy, can we sign a petition?
Knicks made a pretty big trade today at the NBA trade deadline.
Says who? What's your definition of big?
Well,
so Bogdanovich, right? Alec Burke, right?
Yeah. Would you like to have seen a bigger move?
No, I'm saying they're okay. I mean, if I sat up there and I said to you that there's another team that got Bogdanovich and Alex Burke, would you say that's a big trade?
Not necessarily.
Well, then why are you saying it's a big trade for the Knicks?
Knicks could use some depth. Do you disagree?
No. It helps them.
Yeah.
I didn't say it doesn't help them. I didn't say that it's not going to help make them better. I didn't say it's not going to help them once Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle come back. I'm saying you said big. Now, if you're going to tell me big while we sitting here at Super Bowl week on Radio Row, I need something more than Bogdanovich. They had gone out and they've got a DeMar DeRozan or something like that. Okay, now we're talking. But Alex Burke, Bogdanovich, I mean, it helps. It doesn't make them worse. It makes them better. But I'm not.
But you're a clown. That's what. But I'm okay.
When it comes to Stephen A. Smith, right? I have so much respect and admiration for Stephen A. Smith. Yes, I put tomatoes in the chat. I as a kid, Stephen A. Smith was the voice for me on ESPN. I like to believe that Stephen A. Smith is a diehard New York Knicks fan. I like to believe that. I'm not sure if the character that he's playing on ESPN is just a wrestling character, the same character he plays on the soap opera shows that he goes on. But I have a lot of respect for Stephen A. Smith because he's been in the game for a long time. Do I think it was a bad take? Absolutely, because you don't walk away from the trade deadline and you don't say the Knicks didn't improve their roster, because they definitely improved their roster. Now, to his credit, to his point, is it a big move? I don't think it's a big move, but it is a move that help us. It's not a superstar. It's not an all-star added to our team, but we got two solid role players to already add to a team that we were lacking from the bench, and we just solved that right now.
I'm glad you said that, Heck, and then I'll throw it to you, Phil, because I think to say it's not a big move is in the eye of the beholder. For Knicks fans, we can look at this as it's a big move because it was the perfect move for the situation we're in and for the pieces we needed. So for me, I see that as, yes, this was a big move. I still think, obviously, the OG trade, that was a big move.
That was a bigger move, yeah.
Right? But to me, this is a big move. That's why to see other, we played them some clips yesterday.
He wasn't necessarily like Delano says, he wasn't necessarily wrong because it wasn't like we added an all-star or a top 30 player to our team.
No. But it was a big move though. To the eye of the beholder.
He is completely wrong. He's completely wrong. As much as I've liked the effort that he's done, as an analyst and as a reporter, salute to him. Okay. But he's now at a point in his career where Stephen A. is just releasing stuff because he knows the hype that's going to come with it. He knows that it's going to be something that gets him attention. Like, he is now a celebrity more so than he is an actual lover of the Knicks. Like, he's a celebrity that wants to get the recognition. That's why he always puts out the things that are confrontational. So shout out to my guy right up here. Brandon said it. It's situational. So it's a big move for what the Knicks needed. If it was, let's say, the San Antonio Spurs and they make a trade for Bojan and Burks, no, that's not a big move at all because it doesn't do anything for the San Antonio Spurs that have no identity and they're still trying to figure out how to actually get a win. So, no, that's not going to be a big move for a team like that. However, for the Knicks, who, granted, Leon Rose didn't wait to trade deadline to start making big moves, made a very big move for us in getting OG earlier. And now it is a big move because it fits what we need. Like it fits the need of a team. A good trade is not a trade that gets a big name. A good trade is getting the pieces that you do not have. Like right now, we have some things on our trailer that need fixed. They're small parts, but we cannot get to where we need to go without those small parts. We don't need a new engine. We don't need a new whatever, but we need the things that are going to make us get to our destination. And so for me to just go buy big pieces would be stupid, but I get the pieces I need and then I'm cooking. So it is a big trade for us because it gets us to where we need to go. So I totally disagree with that take.
I just wanted to set the record straight. Stephen A. Smith, and the people that work with Stephen A. Smith, if you see this, just know it was Celso and Phil talking about Stephen A. Smith. It was not me. Maybe some people in the chat, but me personally, I think Stephen A. Smith is solid. You see how Leon Rose is giving me the dap right there?
No, he was doing that for Phil, bro. That was for Phil.
Yeah,
that was for Phil. He turned off when you were doing
it. I just want to let this
just in case
record
this
be
channel
said.
falls apart. He can call Stephen A. Smith and be like,
Hector,
I'm just trying to make sure my job security is good in the future. That's it. Future job security is trying to be secure.
Yeah, you sound like Fournier. Look, thank you to all the Knicks fans who supported me throughout my time here in New York. Meant the world. Excited for my new chapter. I made this graphic, guys, because one question. I'm seeing people on the timeline, constant professional the entire time he was here. Blah, 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 blah.
He
How
was
you feeling, Phil? Okay.
He was a constant professional. He didn't complain that much in the media. If anything, in the media, whenever his number was called, he was out there. He was giving effort. He know what his struggles were. He know what he's not good at. And that's defense. We obviously all know that. But when it comes to Fournier, constant professional, I do agree with that. He didn't cause any problems in the media. He could have easily caused drama. He could have easily been a cancer in that locker room. I hate using that term, but you guys know what I mean. But listen, I wish him the best of luck. Hopefully, he gets brought out by Detroit and he's able to go to a team. Hey, worst case scenario, he goes back to the Boston Celtics and he's a piece for them off the bench when we face them in the playoffs. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And shout out to Donald in the chat. That's Donald from the Pinstripe Chronicles, I believe. Donald, I appreciate you, my guy.
Based off of Hector's cancer comment, I know some of y'all think he's heartless, but chill out. I had cancer. I'm not offended by it, so you shouldn't be either. All right?
No, I just don't like using that.
No,
term.
I know. I'm saying
yeah.
it's a statement. Like if anyone's like truly offended,
Yeah.
like, oh, cancer patients wouldn't like that. Okay, I'm a cancer survivor. I'm okay. I'm not.
Well, you're not like the face of cancer survivors, Phil. You don't speak for the entire community of cancer survivors. I'm just saying I apologize if that hurts someone's feelings. Go ahead.
I speak for all. All right. So here we go. When it comes to Evan Fournier, I know so many people complained about like him voicing his frustrations. Like that's ridiculous. Anyone who feels mistreated at a job, whether you're working at freaking McDonald's for like $8.99 an hour or you're an elite company, you voice your frustrations when you feel like you're mistreated. Like that's not something that he should not be able to do. Like he should be able to voice his frustrations. And especially because honestly, we sold him a very big dream. Like when we brought him over here, like I said, we chose him over DeMar DeRozan as an option. So we are telling this guy, hey, you're going to be an integral piece to our lineup. He plays with, regardless of his deficiencies, it's not like he came to New York and all of a sudden started having defensive issues. Like he was never good defensively. So for us to then go, oh, but he doesn't fit Tibbs' system. How's that his fault? Like, look at his career. He's never been a good defender, and we brought him over to a Tibbs system and then blamed him that he doesn't fit the mold. That's not his fault. So for me, I don't think that was an issue. I wish Fournier the best. I think he really could have been toxic. He really could have made a huge issue of it.
And he didn't.
But at the end of the day, this is his career. He has to be able to voice that for himself. I hope he does get some, minutes out there. I hope that that time on the bench didn't cause an issue. And if you look, there's a lot of players that if they felt treated the way that he did, they wouldn't have came out with the attitude when it was time for him to play in those minutes where we didn't have an option but to play him. He could have came out with a bad attitude. You look at some of the greats, even Scottie Pippen, when he had an argument, with Phil Jackson and they weren't seeing eye to eye. Scottie Pippen refused to play a game. He sat on the bench and said, no, I'm not going in over a stupid disagreement, And so Fournier didn't pull any of that crap. So we really can't burn the guy at the stake.
Shout out to Tom from Huntington with a $20 super.
I'm from Huntington. Appreciate you, fam.
Guys, keep up the great work. Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. I did chat.
I saw something in the chat I wanted to bring up also.
But just for Joe, Shown Train, how long is Brunson injury? As this morning, still no reports.
Yeah, still no
I wouldn't be surprised to
update.
see him waiting till the All-Star game to actually come out.
And let's be honest, right? These next few games are meaningless, right? Not 100% meaningless, but let's get our guys rested. I want Jalen Brunson, knowing that it's the All-Star game, they don't go 100% hard in that All-Star game. So I still want Jalen Brunson to be able to participate, to be able to experience that for his career. But when it comes down to it, just rest our guys. We're going to be good coming back. The stretches after the All-Star game, that All-Star stretch afterwards, the dog days of February, the dog days of March, that's what we need these guys for. And Knicks 100 hit it right on the head. Hold on, I'll go back to E. Gibson.
Yeah, go ahead.
But Knicks 100, Tom Thibodeau originally wanted Gordon Hayward, and that's an absolute fact. Gordon Hayward was Tom Thibodeau's target that he wanted. He couldn't get him. We settled for Evan Fournier, even though I really wanted DeMar DeRozan, like Phil points out all the time. But E. Gibson says our front office deserves their flowers, especially for the in-season moves. I question their direction, but they are trying to build a real contender. I want to ask you guys, fellas, right? And Celso, Phil, you guys, your Knicks fandom started a little bit earlier than mine, right? So you have more years watching this team. But when was the last time? Do you guys remember, folks in the chat, when was the last time that during the season the Knicks made two moves on this level? When was the last time? One, to help the starting unit. Two, to help the bench unit. When was the last time the Knicks during the season addressed both needs and corrected it before the All-Star break?
I can't really say ever. And not only that, everybody we talk about the two trades, but the season still goes before it even started in that all season, bringing Dante DiVincenzo in, so it's all the pieces that they pulled the trigger on. Nah, bro. I mean, again, thanks for pointing out that we're older than you, but no, this would have to be the best.
I said it very nicely. You, on the other hand,
folks, you guys have had you've been on the play a lot longer than I have.
I didn't even say that. I said it very nicely. I just want to say, folks, we got over 150 people watching us right now. 141 is watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on Facebook, Instagram, on X, click the link in the bio, jump on over to YouTube. We are sitting at 61 likes, folks. If you guys can hit that like button, let's run the likes up to 150 on the stream. And when it comes to subscribers, we are at 3,451. 49 subscribers away from 3,500. If you're watching us, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate everybody that's in the community. We appreciate all the support, and we appreciate everyone for their comments.
So real quick, for those that might not have been able to tune in yesterday, we worked really hard, got some new merch up on our website.
Let them know, Phil. Go ahead.
So I'm going to show some of the things that we have for you guys to take a look at. So right here, we got our Knicks Morning Brew mug. We got some Aaron Judge, because come on, Aaron Judge is the guy.
Of course.
We got some Take It Back to 69 hoodies. We got a Yeti because Jerry's wife needs one. We got our My Squad Stays on Point, representing and honoring all the best point guards that the New York Knicks have had. Some more Take It Back. We got these dope little My Squad Stays on Point sneakers right now, which are dope. Little fanny pack for you or your lady. Squad stays on point. All-star shirt. The small letters say, I am not good enough. I am not a 1A player. I am too small. I can't lead a team. And then how we see Jalen Brunson as our all-star. One of my favorites right here, my little Captain Clutch, Jalen Brunson honor shirt, swishing and dishing on the front. OG Corp representing his commercial with Staples, some AirPods, some backpacks, Aaron Judge mug, some pins, Jigga's beautiful face with Italy Jet. Wake up and grab your coffee t-shirt. So we got a lot of merch. So if you guys can check it out, that would be appreciated. And like I said, donations that have been going today and donations that we'll see tomorrow when Jigga and Hector go live, because I'll be out and about with the family. We will be doing giveaways for some of that merch.
Of mugs and duck races. But also, I want to thank everybody yesterday. The minute we launched the site, it was great to see these orders coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You guys literally showed up yesterday, man. I couldn't believe
Appreciate
for 10
you
hours.
guys.
You guys were buying merch and hanging out with us, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Let me jump into some of these super chats. We'll do a quick little roll
Go
call.
ahead, because
too.
we just got a
But
brand new one.
I see we got a 499 from our boy David Rios. So get your ass to New York. Let teams beat us now. Come playoff time, we are running through the whole damn league. I added damn. Deepest Knicks team ever. NBA Finals, we ready? You heard?
Facts. And then we got this new super chat, and I want to shout this person out. The art man, formerly known as Steve. Steve, what it do? Salute to you. I love the Cameron profile pic. If you guys aren't watching the Cameron and make sure, what are you doing? They're hilarious. They're a great watch. But as much as I don't like Spencer, he would be a great backup point guard. I love Deuce, but we need a game manager off the bench like Brock Purdy. That's a nice little reference. Cam Newton voice. Knicks healthy is a dangerous squad. Buyout market will be key, and the buyout market will be key when it comes to Spencer Dinwiddie. If you were to remove the name and show me the stats and show me his intangibles, I would say absolutely. But because it's Spencer Dinwiddie and because he talks so much trash about our squad, listen. Back then he ain't want me. Now he hot. He all on me. And he was at the game last night, but he was close to the Dallas Mavericks bench more than anything. What the fuck are you doing, Cecily?
I'm learning all this stuff, so when you guys are talking, do weird stuff like, come on.
Go ahead.
Hey,
So real
I'm
quick,
excited about the trade.
real quick,
You see?
I want to say, because you said Cameron and his Cameron image was there. If you guys have not seen, it's freaking dope. Ronnie from Kith, he's got this story of how he always wanted to have a record label and tried it a few years ago, got burned by some people in the industry, put out some money to record some stuff, never saw the light of day, was kind of defeated, was encouraged to get back into it. And he just released an actual video for Kith Records, which is a song called Last Stop, which is actually Cameron on a Swiss beat. And that song is fire. And the video is fire. It's old school, like New York vibes. Cameron on a train, dope spring colors. So if you haven't seen it, please check out that video and support Ronnie, one of our own from the Knicks community, doing real big things. I'm going to put the link in the chat right there. But really, really dope music video.
So back to talking about the buyout.
Go ahead.
And Bill said it. What is that other piece you got? And if you go and get it, when are they going to play? I mean, we can expect that we would expect Tibbs to do less people in the rotation come playoff time. Do you think if they do a buyout move, it's what veteran do we want on the bench to just have a veteran and somebody that we know if we need to throw in during the playoffs that we go, that would lean you towards a Lowry more than anybody else?
I would say live. First of all, I want to say shout out to Jerry. You know, he's out there. He just posted a picture on Twitter talking Knicks and golf, and he's with J.R. Smith. So shout out to our friend Jerry Ferrara over there.
Charity event with him today.
Yeah. The charity event out there in Vegas. But no, when it comes to the buyout market, you look at the buyout market just to fill. Listen, let's be real. If an emergency situation was to happen in the postseason, who would you rather have out there? Who would you rather have as an option to put out there? Charlie Brown Jr. or Kyle Lowry? Let's be honest. we would rather Kyle Lowry. No disrespect to Charlie Brown, not trying to throw no shade, but reality is reality. When it comes down to it, we look at the buyout market just as insurance. So if you could add yourself Kyle Lowry, just in case anything happens with Alec Burks, just in case anything happens with Deuce McBride, knock on wood, anything happens with any of our starters, I don't want to put that negative energy into the air, but you just look at it for insurances. So if you could get yourself an Andre Drummond as an insurance piece, if he's brought off the buyout market, you do that. If you could get yourself a Kyle Lowry off of the buyout market just to be insurance, just to be a veteran on that bench, you do that. And it helps that he's a Villanova boy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is one thing you can say about Kyle Lowry is first, he's got the veteran playoff experience. You know, the guy knows how to play in the playoffs, you know, and I think with him, he's at that point in his career that if he can just be an addition to what a team is doing, then, you know, it'll be good. And a lot of teams, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, well, he wouldn't really want to come off the bench or he wouldn't really want to, you know, be a reserve. This is a guy that's in a buyout market. Like the league itself is telling him, hey, your prime is no longer there. You're no longer that guy that we need, or you wouldn't have been bought out in the first place. You would have been, you know, continue to be traded for. So luckily for us, the league has told him his value. But another thing we have to realize is he was on that winning team with OG Anunoby. They have history. They have chemistry already. So he's got the Nova grit, but he's also got the familiarity and that common sense to be able to play with these guys. And he's got veteran experience. He would not buckle under the pressure of a playoff game. And that is something that you always want on the bench. So I wouldn't have traded for him, but in a buyout market, of course.
Now,
It's
I know when we had
who's
Brett Siegel
contributed.
last night, right? He said when it came to Lowry, he sees him going back to like home to Philly.
Yeah,
that's
to Philly.
realistically where he sees him.
But
And then I mean,
it doesn't make sense because with Joel Embiid going to be out most likely for the rest of the season after having surgery, why is he going to go to Philly just to be a play-in team or probably be a 5th seed or a 6th seed? You know, they do have a strong team without Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey is an all-star, but you know, the big fella's out, the MVP's out. What is he going to do? If I'm Kyle Lowry, maybe he's won a championship. He don't care about it. But shout out to that art man formerly known as Steve. If we can trade with Messiah while in the courtroom, we can get Dinwiddie. He's a playoff performer. Although my petty senses are tingling, I do like that. The team needs comes first. And that's the most important part at the end. Yes, Spencer Dinwiddie would be a solid piece, and as credit to Deuce McBride, but Spencer Dinwiddie would be an upgrade over Deuce McBride right now, especially in where he's at when it comes to his career. Injury concerns.
yeah, but that dunk last night is still playing in your head though. If you close your eyes, you can
Oh
see
no,
it.
that dunk was amazing.
Here's why I'm not okay with that. Because what I like about the way our team is constructed right now is that we have the here and now, but we also have the tomorrow. Like, what I don't want to do is just from top to bottom fill it with here and now players that aren't going to be the future of this team and not let a guy like McBride continue to develop. Because if McBride is doing this after only getting these kind of minutes for the last like 14 games, what can possibly come of Miles McBride when you know he's playing that for a year? You know, playoff experience makes you a better player moving forward. And so the last thing I want is McBride to not get those minutes in the playoffs, not develop, not see what he's able to do. And then we have to wait a whole other year to see if McBride has what it takes in a playoff game. Like, no, I want to see it now, because then we don't have to continue to bank on a player if they're not going to be there for us in the playoffs, but we want to give him that shot. So I say stick with it.
Double A with the 199 super chat. I don't know what the F stands for, but F Dinwiddie, Hector. I'm with you, friends. With Dinwiddie?
No. Because like I said, because of his history when it comes to talking about the Knicks, absolutely, I do not want him on the team. But, you know, like Phil's point, I do like Deuce McBride. And like I said, I think the front office while making that move, signaling that they do trust Deuce McBride. I think his minutes will be affected because of Burks and Bojan, but let's see how everything works out right now because OG is still out. Julius is still out. We don't know about Jalen Brunson, any upgrades. So while we have Burks and Bojan, we probably will see Deuce McBride still get a lot of minutes until the rest of the guys come back healthy.
So Knicks 100, he's posted this name a few times and it got my attention.
I like Ish Smith.
I like Ish Smith.
Yeah.
It doesn't hinder anything with McBride. He's kind of on teams for the morale and for the if we need something. And if you look at it, one thing that I always want to do is think about our whole organization. Clyde loves Ish Smith. Like, if you listen to Clyde talk about Ish Smith, he loves Ish Smith, you know, so to bring him here and just have that, like, you know, hey, Clyde, this one's for you, I would be okay with that because I don't feel like he would hinder anything for Miles McBride at all. So I do like Ish Smith for sure.
And how many times have we watched teams that Ish Smith has been on and against the Knicks for some reason, he drinks that Space Jam water and he kills us? How many times? Like Building Blocks just put it in the chat. He's a Knicks killer. I love Ish Smith as that veteran presence on the bench. Like CP said, he's not a solid defender. I do agree with him. But as a veteran on the bench, as a guy that who most likely will be a coach in the future, I do like Ish Smith as an option. Maybe as a backup this offseason, or maybe just an extra piece to have a body on the bench.
Thanks for the clarification, Double A. You know, just, you know, gotta make sure I know.
Yeah, but let's be real. You know, Archie Diacono, Archie Lapido, he'll be back. 2.3. Archie gonna be back, and I wouldn't mind that. Archie.
You know who won't be back? No KP, Phil. 19 count. Oh my God, I love that. That's his entrance every time. Guys, we're gonna rock a little bit longer. We still got 140 plus in the building. If you can, smash the like button, hit the subscribe. Where we at with the subbies? I know
we are at 3,000. We are at 3,455. 45 subscribers away from 3,500. So if you're watching us on the playback, or if you're watching us, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button.
And I dropped the open panel link, so we will keep it open, the show open a little bit longer if people want to come up and talk for a second. Again, you don't have to have your camera on, guys. Just give us a thumbs up when you're back there so we know you want to come up. But I think we got our first caller in. Let me go ahead and step off. Phil and Heck, we got our boy Donald backstage. Donald, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to come up. He said, forget the thumbs up. I'm giving you.
Yo, what's up,
Donald? What's good, my guy? How you doing, brother?
Yo, Hector, Jigga, Prophet. How's it going, my guys?
Chilling, bro. Hope all is well. How you feeling after the trade deadline, brother? What's your thoughts on the team?
Really excited. I think for me, the Bogdanovic deal was the key to the deal for me. I love the Leon Rose did that because for me, according to what Ian Begley said, that it was kind of a long shot that they were just that he just pushed for it. He was really, really aggressive, and I love that mentality from our president, that he was just like, no, we'll take Burks, but you're giving us your best player. Yeah, thanks. That was a heist, and he did it without giving up any first round picks. So this helps us now, but also helps us next year too, because he's got a partially guaranteed contract around about $19 million next year. That can help us if we wanted to package that for a bigger contract for, say, like a Donovan Mitchell. I don't know, whichever you want to go with. But we've got our firsts, and we've got some contracts that we can move next year. But for now, we've got a guy that is a walking bucket. This guy averages 21 points per game on a bad day, shoots like 46% from the field, 42% from three. This guy is an absolute animal. And that was also, do y'all think it's not really a surprise that Leon Rose didn't announce that Anunoby was getting surgery until after the trade deadline?
Oh yeah, that was a well thought out process, and shout out to Leon Rose. And to your point, Donald, when you look at the two players, right, that he traded for, and not Alec Burke included in this, but when you look at Bojan and when you look at OG, last year at the trade deadline, Detroit wanted 2 first-round picks back for Bojan in any trade. Last year at the trade deadline, the Raptors wanted 3 first-round picks back for OG Anunoby in any trade. We were able to get both those players for second-round picks when the year before their teams originally wanted first-round unprotected picks. Leon Rose, he plays the long game. He plays the long game. They understand the assets they have right now. They understand the war chest that they're building, because let's be honest, even though Bojan, he's going to help coming off the bench, that $19 million contract is just as valuable as a trade, as a first-round pick. So Leon Rose is still continuing when it comes to building his war chest. I want to throw it over to Phil real quick to get his take and throw it back over to Donald.
Yeah, and I think this is even the bigger point of Stephen A. Smith missing it on how this is a great trade for us. Because when you look at it, what has been the talk for the Knicks for the longest? And I don't necessarily know if I agree with the move, but that they want to try and get a star this offseason. Well, what are the things that bring you a star? First, appeal. You see that the more and more we have won this season, the more and more we have heard that people want to come to New York that never wanted to come to New York before. All of a sudden, New York is starting to become a place of interest again because we are a winning team. You're seeing great things happen with the New York Knicks. So how do you continue to build that appeal? You got to keep winning. So injuries come up, such as this OG situation, this Randle situation. How do we keep winning? Well, we have to make a trade. Maybe a trade we wouldn't have done before. But what else do you need? You need those picks if you want to be able to trade in the summer. So now you trade, don't give up any any first round picks, which apparently they wanted to in the beginning of the season for Bojan. So now you don't trade any of those. You still get Bojan. You get a contract that you can move in conjunction with those picks if you want to star in the summer. You get a role player like Alec Burks that gives you guaranteed points as well that you can also move if you want to in the summer. And now our hand is not forced to do anything, and we're able to actually do what we need to do. If it works out where these guys make us that much better and we decide not to trade for a star, we're good, or we trade for that star. So beautiful. And with that trade, like you said, the OG information didn't come out until after the trade, which would have made that a more demand for us, and people would have seen the demand. And when they know a demand, the cost goes up. Oh, you need our player. You need our trade. So we would have lost something more valuable if that information would have came out. So that makes it a great trade all in all.
I said this yesterday. If Detroit knew that OG Anunoby was having surgery and was going to be out for 3 weeks, they would have demanded at least, at bare minimum, 1 first-round draft pick coming back in any trade. I want to highlight a super chat real quick, and I'll throw it over to Donald. But the art man, formerly known as Steve, who says with the $4.99 super chat, appreciate that. Oh, and I draw. We're going to have to collab on some future merch. Listen, Steve, email us, MediaTeam@morningbrewsports.com. Give us your information. We'll exchange. We'll start going back and forth, because that's something that we're still looking, right? When you look at the network that we're building with myself, Phil, and Celso, if anybody out there, if anyone in the community, if you guys are an artist, if you guys are an editor, if you guys are a content creator, if you guys, whatever you do, email us, because we're always looking to add on to the team. My co-host, TC Stills on the Yankees, he was somebody who was in the chat going back and forth, and now he's my co-host. So there's a lot of people that we work with that were in the chat, and because they were loyalists in the chat and they wanted to take an opportunity, we always give people opportunities over here.
Yep.
So I'm gonna throw it.
Eddie was just a voice that was screaming F-bombs in a Twitter space, and I loved his energy. And now he's one of the faces of Morning Brew Sports. So yeah, if you have that talent, hit us up. I got a call tomorrow, which I'm super excited about, with my guy CP the artist, about what it could look like to get some Knicks Morning Brew merch created by him. So if you don't follow CP, you need to. That's my guy. So yeah, Donald, final statements on what you think with this new lineup we look like going forward.
Well, to echo what Zach Lowe said on ESPN, the Knicks are operating like the single smartest franchise in the NBA. That's a big statement, but it's facts. It's facts. I love the way that they operated since late December, January. Like, they've just made the smart moves. So what I particularly love about this deal is the fact that we can now win in various different ways. Okay, so like for instance, let's look at the fact that the Lakers double teamed Brunson like 30 times, right? They didn't respect his teammates because obviously injuries, etc. But now you can't double team Jalen Brunson. Now you got Brogdon. Now you go. We'll get Randle back. We've got Burks that can hit threes. Got Dante DiVincenzo, absolute animal right now, playing absolute incredible ball. He's a walking bucket as well. So you can't double team Brunson or Randle. So that's a big plus. Another thing, what did the Heat do to beat us in the playoffs last year? They collapsed the paint and said, right, beat us from the three. And we couldn't do it other than Brunson. Now we got 3-point shooters galore.
Everywhere.
Up and down 3-point shooters. So now we can beat the zone with our shooting. If it becomes a defensive game, we got guys that can do that. We got OG, got Josh Hart, we got a DiVincenzo, all good defenders. We got a bunch of guys, and then you got Precious, Hartenstein. We got Mitch coming back. So if it's going to be a gritty, tough game, we can beat them that way too. Whichever way that in the NBA that we're required to win a game, we've got the depth to do so. If it's going to be a transition game, we've got the guys to do that too. OG, Josh Hart, love going downhill. Randall's downhill guy. Brunson downhill guys. These are so basically what I'm saying is whichever way that we need to win a game, we can do so because we've got the depth now. We've got crazy depth. And when you the deepest team in the league, I really don't doubt that.
No, and that's something that we was talking about yesterday, Donald. When you look at our bench, and it was somebody in the Knicks Twitter space, I forgot who it was. I think Eddie brought it up. When you look at our bench, we have the deepest bench in the NBA right now when we are healthy. And at any point, at any time, when Julius Randle, you bring up the point, Julius Randle couldn't operate in the postseason, one, because he was injured, but two, Miami was collapsing the paint. If they tried that again this year, at any point, Julius Randle is going to have 3 people on the perimeter that are shooting over 40% from the 3-point line. And when you even look at OG Anunoby, we have 5 guys shooting over 40% from threes. When you look at OG Anunoby, he's around 38, 39%. But when it comes to his corner threes, the man is shooting over 43% or 42% from the corner threes. So OG Anunoby, you could throw him in there, and that's 6 guys that at any time could be hitting over 40% from the 3-point line, if not the corners.
I think Anunoby deal, actually, the best thing about that deal was the fact that it allowed Brunson to operate in the areas that he loved to operate, and the same with Randle. Like, it's just freed up the court for them to dominate. And so, hey, health dependent, we got an incredible team that's going to do some real damage this year. Very excited.
Definitely. Donald,
and there's a long-term vision as well, which I love.
Donald, my guy, appreciate you. For those in the chat that do not know who Donald is, he is one of the guys from the Pinstripe Chronicles. He works with Uncle Grandpa Tats. We are family with that channel. If you guys can, make sure you guys go and subscribe to the Pinstripe Chronicle. Go help them out. They do amazing work over there.
LTK Knicks, Let's Talk Knicks, and I write for Last Word on Sports to cover the Knicks as well. So I'm around a lot of Knicks right now. And I'd love to talk to you guys in the future about hopping on whenever, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hit us up on socials. We have the open panel. It's an open door panel seat with you, Donald. You know, you guys are like family over there.
MediaTeam link. Give me the MediaTeam link.
Oh yeah, it's just MediaTeam at morningbrewsports.com. Just shoot us an email right over there.
Beautiful. Well, have a great rest of your day. Let's go Knicks. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, Donald, appreciate you. Big Nick Energy is in the building. We got Double A backstage. We're going to bring up Double A next, and then Jonathan. Go ahead, Soso.
So I see new faces in the chat.
Oh, you're muted, Phil.
I see new faces in the chat, and I'm sure, a lot of them are like, what are we donating to? Blah, blah, blah. So you're helping us at the end of the month get out to New York, Knicks event all weekend long, plus get us out to spring training. But we're going to do a stream tomorrow with duck races. And I figured, you know what? People are like, what the hell does he mean when there's duck races? So for everybody, I saw somebody just added to the pot. We'll add that one to the next one. But everybody,
Nick fan,
up until this point that entered, thank you guys so much for all the support. I'm going to do it. We're doing a mug. We're giving away a mug. Phil, heck.
Let's give away a
Good?
mug.
I didn't
Let's give
ask.
away a mug. We
Let's
good.
do it. Let's do a duck race. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what a duck race is. I'm going to shuffle it up a couple of times. CT Pittman, you are in here like 20 times. All right. Got everybody that's donated today. You guys, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this race is for a Knicks Morning Brew mug. Let the race begin. Welcome on this beautiful morning here on the Knicks Morning Brew, where we get to watch ducks. Look at this. We got George Washington Pittman duck. We got the Donald Trump duck. We got the Starry Hardy duck. I love how they come undercover.
In the back. Hey, Double A, come on, get up there, Double A.
Who's gonna win a mug?
I have the best duck out there on the water. Look at my hair; it's very coiffed.
My hair.
I have to coif.
CT Pittman has 30 chances to win. Will he be able to finally get a mug? We're gonna find out.
I fall back here? This race is rigged. This race is rigged. All right.
I love how CT helmet in the. I couldn't keep a straight face. That was the worst Donald Trump impersonation.
You guys stepped about it.
Right in the lead. CT Pittman. CT coming undercover with lipstick. The art man Steve. Coming from behind. 3, 2, 1. CT Pittman finally wins. Let's go, CT in the building.
Congratulations, Pittman.
You just bought $150 Knicks Morning Brew mug.
Phil, you're an idiot.
Shout out to CT Pittman. Appreciate you. That duck race was basically CT Pittman versus CT Pittman. Yeah.
I was in my head. I was like, all right, this man's got like 70 chances. He better win,
Yeah,
you know?
he better win. Folks,
you know what's hilarious? Real quick. The chat can't see this, but Double A's in there with his one, and CT's got like 50 something ducks in there. And as soon as CT won, Double A was like his one duck failed against 50, and he felt so
about Double A.
I love you, Double A.
We gotta bring up Double A right now.
Big Nick Energy. You weren't here yesterday, but I got my OG shirt in the mail, and I wore it last night. I love that shirt. Thank you guys so much for sending it out.
Hold on 1 second, Double A. Big Nick Energy, bruh. If you lost that would have been amazing. Shout out to Big Nick Energy. Make sure you guys go and follow them. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to our family over there. We definitely got to link up and collaborate with them. At the end of the month, the boys will be in New York City. Let's see if we could get us and Mill Media together, my guy. We are sitting at 93 likes right now, 7 away from 100. And when it comes to the subscribers, we are at 3,457. Let's go. 43 away from 35. And the Mets Nick fan, let's go, says, go ahead, Phil, read it.
Salute, my friends. You guys got it going on with good content. I'm so happy with the Knicks, long-suffering fan here since 1977 when I became a Knicks fan. Thank you so much. Haven't been around that long, even in life, but I do understand the pain because it's been that way since I've been born. And look, CT Pittman, like, I don't know what to say about this guy. Look at this comment.
That's my guy.
Give the mug to Double A from me.
Oh man, CT. So how about this? How about this? This is what we're gonna do. We gotta send CT Pittman his mug, and just cause we're gonna send Double A mug. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. All right.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Well, it's appreciated,
Double
but
A.
not necessary, fellas.
Not appreciated, but it's something we want to do, Double A.
I'm just a bad loser, man. I'm just a bad loser. It's the Puerto Rican.
I am too, bro. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm
petty,
a horrible loser.
I'm petty,
Exactly. I'm super
loser.
petty. I've tripped kids in races at picnics. Go ahead, Double A. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts about the conversation today?
Well, first of all, man, Stephen A. Smith. I challenge you to a cage match. I want a professional wrestling. This is a public challenge. I'll meet you wherever you want to meet. We can fight whatever you want to fight. Whatever. Tables, chairs, ladders, whatever you want to do, man. But I'm tired of you, bro. I mean, you just do it to irritate us or what? You know what I mean? You didn't have to say nothing. You know what I mean? You didn't like the trade, fine. But, come on, bro. Like Phil said, we were doing what we needed, not what you wanted. We doing what we needed, And it's time for Leon Rose to get his credit, get his flowers. He should be re-signed. I mean, the job that he's done, and I've been one of the critics, man. I've been one of the critics of Leon Rose. But You got to give him his due, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got a unique opportunity this season. You know, if the New York Knicks are able to secure that second seed, if not the first seed, knock on wood, don't want to jinx anything. But Heck just did it last week. Absolutely. I'd be tripping them kids. When it comes to Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau, we're in a unique spot where both Tibbs could win Coach of the Year for the second time, and Leon could win Executive of the Year. When was the last time we had a Knick team that did that? Let's enjoy where we are at right now.
How about most improved player and MVP maybe? But
MVP, I think
it's
it's a long shot for MVP. Most improved player could go two ways. It could go either to Jalen on our team, or it could go to Dante.
Yeah,
Dante could be most improved player, especially as a starter on a team that's the second seed in the Eastern Conference. If Dante DiVincenzo keeps his game the way it's going, he's a strong candidate for that most improved player, and that's not out of the realm of reality.
No, especially going from sub barely, very sporadic time with Golden State to like a starter winning a starting spot.
Merc So Saucy said, Double A, I got your back, bro. I'll hit him with the chair, man. The concerto. Go ahead, Double A.
No, but I like I said, I just don't understand, man. Big Perk, hey, shout out to Big Perk, man. He's always giving us love, man. He's always giving us love. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Big Perk.
He seems a more Knick fan than Stephen A, man.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is that we could actually sit here and not actually be delusional Knick fans and say that we have people on our team that should be heavily considered for all of these categories. Like, that's crazy that we can look at our roster and say, holy crap, we have so many players who could be considered for most improved. Look at Isaiah Hartenstein. Look at the fact that, like, he went from being a bench player to now being what could be one of the best starting centers in the league. Dante DiVincenzo, same thing. In the short period of time, we've seen players develop into something. OG Anunoby, if he comes back healthy enough and quick enough and plays enough games, can be considered Defensive Player of the Year. Like, we have a squad of people that deserve this kind of accolades and this kind of recognition. So I'm excited as a Knick fan to be able to say, hey, we have multiple things where we can honestly say it and not have people in our community be like, you're just a delusional Knick fan, which is pretty much what we faced.
It's facts. It's facts right now, Philly. It's facts right now. The only thing that's bothering me right now is these injuries, man. It just seems to be piling up. First it was, Randle, then OG and Brunson, and now it's Isaiah. So, we need to get healthy. And like Hector said, this break is coming at the opportune time,
at the perfect time.
We got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But, love with you guys, man. I'm so happy. And my heart, man.
Thank you, appreciate you. We'll get your mug out soon.
We appreciate you. Phil,
give it to me, bro. I sent you, man. I wanted to hook up with you, Philly. And,
let's do it. I should be in that area next week.
I write bars, bro.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Right? Double A is the muscular flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Look at him.
There you go. There you go. Double A, appreciate you, Unc. Love you, Unc. Can't wait
real
to
quick,
talk with you in person.
Before we bring up our next guest,
we bring up the next person.
Before we bring up the next person, we told Artman to send us some art. So this is the perfect place for me to highlight what he just said, because he is talented. And like we said, we want to highlight people in the community. So just a few of his designs that he sent over. Two of the greats right there.
That's amazing.
This Subway series is fire.
Oh, that's amazing, bro.
Artman,
let's definitely,
this fits exactly the vibe of our layout. So we would love to create something like this.
I love that one. I love that one right there.
My kids are gonna freak. Boom. Look at that.
Oh,
that
that's
is
fire.
So raw. So
that's fire.
MF Doom.
The MF Doom. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we definitely got to link up with the art man. Yeah, we definitely got to link up with the art man. We're gonna make that happen. And
fire. Sorry.
If there's anyone out there, if there's anybody out there, if you guys are listening to us, if you guys are graphic designers, if you guys are editors, if you guys are photographers, videographers, email us, MediaTeam at Morning Brew Sports. We love giving people opportunities. If there's someone out there that loves doing social media, we're looking for someone to help us when it comes to social media and getting that locked down. So email us, MediaTeam at Morning Brew Sports. Go ahead, Celso.
Nah, man, I came up because I had to make sure I said that shit was fire because that was pretty dope. I'm glad you sent
as
it
of
over.
now, Jacob asks, no update, Jacob, on the iHeart injury as of right now. There's no update.
And let's be real. I wouldn't be surprised with the iHeart thing. We don't see him come back till after the All-Star break either. I wouldn't be surprised. Play it safe.
They said it was an Achilles
3 games?
strain. Yeah, they said it was an Achilles strain. Yeah.
So, but who knows? But we don't like to fake report because our sources are North sources. We look at the same shit you guys do. We just like to talk about it. Take my ugly face off. Let's bring up our boy Swanie.
Swanie,
yo.
Salute.
Good morning. What up, fellas? My boy Hector, I see you. Phil the Prophet, what's up, my guy?
What up, my guy, Swan?
My dude, what's going on? Yo, so first and foremost, as always, for y'all who don't know what the merch looks like, here it is.
Bingo.
Okay? The mug.
Bing
we got to
bong.
make sure we show the mug off every single time that we come up here so that y'all can support. Y'all can go ahead and like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hey, these guys are doing great work. They give us great content. Hey, y'all make sure we continue to get these guys where they need to be. To the art, what was his name? The art guy?
The art man, formerly known as Steve.
Hey, the art man, I can't wait. I got money ready to buy merch. I'm ready. I'm ready to get some new merch already, man. But that shit looks fire. No, it is dope. It is absolutely dope, man. To this basketball, bro. First and foremost, I know Double A was talking about the injuries. I said this in one of the spaces. The thing about the injuries, two things. One, timing of the injuries is important. These injuries happen in February versus happening in March or April gives us an opportunity to get rest, to get our guys back to where they need to be, and to also get back in rhythm before we get to the playoff spot. Yeah. Secondly, with these injuries, another thing that's allowing us to do right now is getting our guys who are coming up behind some experience, some much needed experience that allows those starters, once they come back, to get the needed rest. Tibbs now will start to have a little bit more trust in some of these players to sit his starters a little bit longer, especially in some of these games that don't mean as much, if that makes sense, if y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Some of the teams that we don't need to maybe have Jalen out there 42, 43 minutes for the night, where we don't need to have Julius Randle out there 40 to 43 minutes a night. He can trust and know that the guys that are coming behind are going to get the job done because we've seen it. They had no choice but to play ball because all these guys have been out. Also, we got help on the way, y'all. Those 4 to 5 minute gaps where we have no scoring, absolutely no scoring because nobody's hit. We got Alec Burks on the way. Get buckets, Burks. And we also have Bojan Bogdanovic on the way. These guys are certified bucket getters. They can create their own shot and they can play off ball. These guys are going to come in and they're going to help the team out in a big way, So I love the trade that we had yesterday. I apologize I couldn't get on with y'all yesterday, man. Me and my wife, we're getting our daycare set up here. We're doing a large in-home daycare here in Southern California. So I was doing a lot of painting, but I was listening. I was tapped in with y'all. I was listening. So I was hearing everything that was going down, y'all.
Appreciate it, bro. And so one thing you said that's so key is one of the things that really hurt us in the playoffs, and we can agree to disagree, like the Randle injury, some think it's bigger than it really was. Some people think that it's not as big, drawn attention as it should be. Either way, whatever side you're on, he was injured at that time. Yeah. And that hindered play. Whether it should have hindered that much or not, that's a different discussion, but it hindered. And so him being injured when he is perfect. Like you said it, give time to recoup, give time to make sure that the body actually is up to par to be able to play the way that Tibbs is going to make them play in the playoffs. Like we're going to see 40-minute games. And if they're just at the end of a recovery of an injury or an injury that's still flaring up, those guys are not going to make it throughout a whole playoff, series and be able to actually produce and do well. So being that most of our injuries are happening even before a break in the All-Star schedule is huge. Like that amount of time is not given for rest any other time in the season except during the week of, All-Star break. And so being able to have the All-Star break in our favor is really good for all of those injuries. So I'm hoping those guys come back stronger. I'm hoping that we're able to see everybody through and through. But the benefit of this trade is it buys us time. These two guys are healthy right now, and they can play. They can produce points. So they fit the gaps of what we currently need and can keep us afloat. Because a lot of teams don't have something that when those guys go down, like look at the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies got plagued with the two main injuries, Ja Morant and Bane. And regardless of everyone else on their team, it wasn't going to happen, without those two main guys. And then Jackson went down and it was just like, oh crap. Now, we're even worse. Now Smart's down, so for us to get these guys at the trade deadline was a perfect time to say, hey, we're going to buy us some time. Let's stay in the vicinity of that 3 and 4 seed by bringing those guys back so that we then make a bigger push when it comes to the playoffs. So I'm thankful for it.
Swanie, real quick, before you respond real quick, Kevin in the chat, Kevin Pryor just said, Swanie, send me your email address. My company has a grant program for minority-owned businesses.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so Swanie, Kevin, if you can, drop your email in the chat. That way I'll screenshot it and send it over to Swanie, or I'll put it in the private chat so Swanie can have it. But go ahead, Swanie, you could go ahead.
Appreciate that. No, I appreciate that.
That's community right there. That's how you build community. Look at that. Community helping each other out. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I feel that, man. That's so dope. I appreciate that. The other thing I was gonna say too, with the addition of those pieces, I heard an asinine thing from Stephen A. Smith this morning. I know y'all talked on it a little bit, that it wasn't a big move, right? And Celso said it perfectly when it comes to being the eye of the beholder, right? If I lived in a house that had no AC and you live in a house with AC, if you in a house with an AC get a brand new AC, that's not nothing big for you. It don't matter because you've already been there, done that. But if I've been living in the heat and it's been hot and I've been sweating in these 90-degree weathers and I finally get an air conditioner to cool me off in the summertime, that's a big deal for me. So I'm saying all that to say that was a big move for New York because it was pieces that was absolutely necessary to take us over that hump. These were pieces that are going to allow us to be able to be comfortable in those stretches where we need some scoring, where we go into those scoring drops. So that's big for us. Yes, Stephen A. It's not the big splash. It's not the big name player. It's not the this. It's not the that. But he will see. He will go ahead and spin the block just like he did with the OG Anunoby trade. He's going to spin the block when he see how Alec Burks and Bojan fits in when these guys get back and they get healthy. I know y'all got other people that want to come up. I love y'all guys. I want to always come up here and show y'all some love. I appreciate y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. And
appreciate you,
I'll definitely, if you don't get it, I'll shoot you my email. I'll put it in the joint so you can grab it.
Yeah, definitely. I got you, bro. We'll make sure we get Kevin Pryor's information over to you. Again, Kevin Pryor, not sure if you're still listening, but if you can, drop your email in a chat. That way Swanie can get connected with you as well.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Swanie.
All right, fellas.
Bro.
Peace.
Later,
Yes, sir.
baby.
I got to be honest with you guys. I think that was the best call-in we had because he was the only one that came up and said Celso nailed it with his comment. Swanie, you are welcome to be on this panel anytime.
We ain't got to such like that. Shout out to the Art Man, formerly known as Steve. Art Man, we saw the images. That was fire, bro. We'll definitely go to link. We'll definitely set up a conversation for us. Kevin Pryor is still in the building. Drop your email so Swanie can have it, Kevin Pryor, so we can link you guys.
Phil, drop the merch link.
Building. Drop the
Brian
merch
Gustin
link.
Just asked for the merch link. Drop that link in there.
We are at 105 likes on the stream. We got over 130 people in the building. Smack the like button. We are at 3,459 subscribers.
So close.
41 away from 3,500. If you guys can, smack the subscribe button. Help us get to 35.
Yeah, and I want to thank you all. Like, if you're new on the channel, this community is seriously leaves us speechless. We had a goal in like I think it was end of November. We were like, hey, let's just get this channel to the 1,500 mark before the end of the year. And now we're here February 9th saying, yo, we are almost at 3,500. So in this last month and a half, you guys have been seriously incremental in our growth. You have shown so much love and support, and we know that this is just the first floor for us. Like, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to continue to give you guys what you're asking for and more. So thank you guys so much for the support. We appreciate you guys.
All right, so real quick, I'm just going to put in the chat. Here is the email, guys, MediaTeam@morningbrewsports.com. Send us an email if you want to connect with us and Tony with everything they'll be doing at Blarney's for the, what is
Boston
it? Celtics,
game.
right?
Celtics game. Yeah.
It's going to be pregame, during the game, watch long, after, all freaking day kind of deal. Hit us up on the email. Let us know you want to rock with us. Again, tomorrow, stay tuned. Look on Twitter. We'll drop what time Hector and I are going to go live tomorrow. We're going to do duck race giveaways the entire time. We've got Yankees giveaways, Knicks giveaways. We got our own merch stuff. But, man, really appreciate everybody rocking with us. Appreciate everybody that's donated so far. You guys really help us in a major way. And I think it only makes sense as we're leaving, Phil, I'm going to rock that video one more time if that's cool with you, bro.
Rock it out.
Let's do it. So this is a tribute. For those that missed it earlier, this is a tribute to all the players that are currently on our roster, a tribute to the coach, and a tribute to hip-hop. So appreciate you guys all. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be posting it on Twitter. The guys will as well. If you guys can hit a repost later on today, we'd appreciate that. But
we're going to drop the video right now. And on that note, deuces.
Deuces.
Check. Check 1, 2. New York over everything. Let's go Knicks. Yo, check it. There's a stark difference. See, I come from these streets when it's checkout time. I'm bagging anyone who wants beef. Racks and richer stories, so I have to take advantage. Hold it down for those around me. Like 23, I'm a savage. You average, I ravage. And if my team is trailing, you can call me Mr. Clutch. My rhyme skills resemble Jalen. Small bully ball, my execution is timely. Like Burks, I move on and leave a losing team behind me. Now my style's a lot more polished, and I strive not to be reckless. Rings always on my mind, I fight for it, my precious. Battle tested like Bogdanovich, my skill set's a conglomerate. A legacy of grit, the opposition has to honor it. The heart in number 3, here's a L, you can wear it. You hate when I speak facts, some couldn't bear it. Start slow to speed it up, attack from every angle. Beats don't know the strength, count me out, I'll buzz like Randle. Rough around the edges, yeah, I'm far from perfection. Put me to the test, I guarantee you'll face rejection. I heart, I soul, I am not one to downplay. I can do it all, the versatility of Dante. So doubt me all you want, that's fine, it's how you feel. But don't be surprised when you make my highlight real. I'm real stubborn in my views of hip-hop. I'm like Tibbs, cause old school beats and rhymes is where I'll always live. Place my bets on my vets, security and an OG. The only ones who test me are the ones who do not know me. So homie, try to hold me and get outlined in chalk. Like McBride, you are not built for these miles that I've walked. Keep the talk on lock so that I don't have to check ya. And if you need to find me, you can find me at the Mecca. You can find me at the Mecca. Yeah, blue and orange everything.